afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Well, actually, it's evening. It's early evening. It's dark outside. Today I want to talk to you about, well, bedding, or substrate, as some of you might know it as. And so some of you might know currently I'm using disposable bedding, even though my preference is fleece bedding. So I don't think there really is a right or wrong substrate to use. As long as it's not cedar, then you should be safe to choose what will work best for your lifestyle. For example, I don't work outside the home, so I am home a lot of the time. I have the time to do my washing, my laundry, especially when I do have a working machine. Currently, that's not the case, which is why they're on disposable bedding. But when you're thinking of substrate to use, you need to think about your lifestyle as well. Because I don't have an extra income coming in, I cannot always afford to have disposable bedding at the ready for the amount of guinea pigs that I have. I have 4 different cages. Now, while that doesn't seem like a lot, if you look at the size of my cages, you know, they're 2 by 10 with 14-inch braids. It's a 27.2 square foot cage just right here that uses 1 entire bag. And also, depending on where you live, will determine how much it costs to get the substrate. So for me, it's about $25 per bag. So in 1 week alone, I would go through 2 bags between all 4 cages. That is $50 a week, but depends on the store that I go to. So this past week, the store I normally get my bedding from did not have enough in stock, so I had to go elsewhere, which was more expensive. So I ended up paying just under $80 for 3 bags to make sure that all 4 cages had enough bedding. Sorry, I had an incoming call and I cannot answer it. So when you're thinking about your substrate, you want to think about, you know, your finances, your lifestyle, what will suit you best. For me, it happens to be that I prefer fleece bedding. I prefer it because I can keep track of what their poops look like. Why are you calling me? Sorry, incoming call again. Where was I? You want to think about, you know, what factors into your lifestyle. You know, are you going to be home often enough so that you can do daily spot cleans if you happen to decide to use fleece bedding? Now, when we're talking about fleece bedding, I don't mean just thin fleece blankets. There is a certain way of doing it. You want to make sure you have an absorbent layer underneath. So you can use something like a thin puppy pad type liner and then a fleece blanket on top. Or you can choose a pre-made fleece liner where you have 2 layers of fleece with U-Haul padding in the middle, and it's already pre-made sewn together. If you're crafty, you can make them yourself. Some people choose to use a combination of fleece liners with bath mats on top in high traffic areas, and this way it makes it easier for them because guinea pigs tend to pee and poop most where they eat and or sleep. So you want to make sure that your amount of workload in your day or week isn't going to exceed what you're capable of being able to do. If you only have 2 or 3 guinea pigs, 1 cage, then it's not so bad. Disposable bedding might be your best route at that point if you're someone who works outside the home or is constantly busy and just you don't have enough time to do the daily maintenance work with it. or if you don't own a washing machine, or you don't own a dryer, or, you know, there's always something that can come up that can deter you from using a certain type of substrate. Maybe you're allergic to wood shavings. I happen to actually be allergic to wood shavings. When they're already settled in like this, it's not so extreme. But when I am cleaning the cages or when I'm putting fresh substrate in, that's when it really affects my breathing. But otherwise, I am pretty okay. I do have an air purifier in here, so it's manageable. But that is another factor to consider as well. Maybe you're allergic to wood shavings. Maybe it irritates your breathing and it makes it difficult. So many things to consider. Some people opt to use paper bedding. Paper bedding is basically like a shredded paper, but it's soft. It's almost like you were, taking a bunch of like tissue paper, or not tissue paper, but like tissues, like Kleenex, crumpling it up and just having a whole pile of it. That's the kind of feeling that the guinea pigs would get walking on paper bedding. And while it might be a little cozy for them and softer on their feet compared to having wood shavings, it is still definitely not the most feasible idea for most people. I personally would not be able to afford paper bedding. For a small bag, it's like close to $40. So if I was to calculate an approximate amount on how much I would spend for paper bedding for all just this one cage, I would probably be spending maybe $200 on paper bedding just for one cage for 1 week. 1 week. 220. And that's an estimated amount. Depending, like I said before, depending on where you live will determine whether it is cheaper or more expensive. I know in the US the items are cheaper. In UK the items are definitely a lot cheaper, but in Canada they're more expensive, and that happens to be where I am from. So I am giving you my perspective as a Canadian. So for me, I prefer using Fleece, but sometimes life gets in the way and you gotta go the other route. And that is a great alternative if you happen to be in my situation. Anyways, I hope this has been able to give you something to kind of think about if you're new to guinea pigs, or even if you're just looking to upgrade your guinea pig cage, or trying to, decide if you should switch it up and whatnot. It'll give you something to think about. Comment down below. Let me know what choice of bedding you prefer and why, and what works for your lifestyle. Are you like me, where you prefer to do one method, but because of, certain aspects in life, it just doesn't fit your lifestyle? Like, I love the disposable bedding because it makes my morning routine so much quicker. I just have to wake up, top up their hay, pellets, and water. And then, give them little pets, nose boobs, and such. It gives me more time in my day to get other things done. However, the downside is the cost. And then at the end of the week is the amount of compost/garbage that I have. It increases that amount, but that's based on the fact that I have 13 guinea pigs, 4 cages. Remembering that 2 guinea pigs live downstairs in my living room, dining room area. These are all just females. Anyways, if you haven't already, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share. It all helps the channel out, and I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!